First time watching the show from Netflix called Baby Reindeer. We're in episode 4, and the show is so interesting and so well done that I simply cannot stop. You know, this is like my 3rd episode that I'm watching in a row. It's got comedic moments, you know, light toned moments, but then it has some really, really hard scenes, you know, heavy scenes that can be very disturbing, especially the last couple of episodes and the way they ended. So yeah, we'll get into this one and see how things unfold. But before we do that though, teeny tiny little question. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing just lovely. A little sick still. It's been like 10 minutes since the last video, so yeah, still sick since the last video. My name's Affan, by the way. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. And also, subscribe so you can see more videos. I do intend on finishing this show off. And then do let me know if there are other shows and movies that you'd like me to see. I do different topics, you know, different genres. So yeah, let me know. All the stuff that's back there, I've seen all of that on the channel, and I'll continue on to do so more. So as you can see, there's like plenty of different genres and stuff mixed in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' comments on shows particularly such as these, because I myself am not very experienced with stuff like this, so it's important for me to then talk to someone who might be. So yeah, looking forward to your comments as always. But yeah, let's just jump into this video without any further ado. Here we go. Okay. This is the first time we're getting a warning, a trigger warning, so that...
6 months.
Ooh, okay.
It had taken me 6 months to report Martha.
Help you.
I should have started with...
Well, now he's reporting, okay.
I'm getting stalked.
The articles, her previous crimes, but I just didn't.
I think she needs help.
She definitely needs help.
Why'd it take you so long to report it?
Yeah.
It all just came flooding back.
Ooh, so are we gonna learn...
5 years earlier, I went to the Edinburgh Festival.
Okay. I presumed something must have happened. The reason why he keeps going and like dealing with Martha, like not just cutting it off and not going to police and so on.
You can ask them to leave if you'd like.
Oh, no, I can do that. They're here 12 months a year. I'm only here one. Can you ask them to leave?
No.
You even want to see comedy?
There's only one way to find out.
Ooh, lovely.
We better begin.
Again, yes! Let me hear ya! So my mum died today.
May she rest in peace, if that's true.
Nothing? It's funny opening a show like that when my mum has just died, no? Antithesis?
If she actually has.
The shows were just awful. Most days
May she rest in peace.
I was about a week in and I felt like the dregs of show business.
Do you know what I mean, yeah? I'm saying I got a big cock. Yeah? He's just taped some eggs to a plant.
I questioned if I packed up.
Oh, the slow clap.
For your donation, just give what you think the show is worth. Thanks for coming. Thanks for...
That's what they think the show is worth, eh?
Yeah, I've got something for you. I left someone's wallet last night. I know how much you artists love to schmooze.
You're using someone else's card, eh?
He wrote Cottonmouth. It's fucking amazing. Have you seen it?
Bits and bobs, not my thing.
Then you're mental. Should be illegal for people to be that young and that successful.
Want to slip poison in his drink?
Wow, that's dumb. Yes. Anyway, the actors made that show, if you ask me.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm a comedian when they laugh, a performance artist when they... I'm Donnie, by the way.
Darian O'Connor.
As in...
Cottonmouth.
What? But then who's...
My writing assistant.
Oh, yeah, all that actor stuff, that was merely banter. The writing was the best bit about that show. You didn't like it?
I don't.
I mean, do a show that you don't like.
I'm a televisual prostitute. Gives me.
Aren't we all, I suppose?
The man who puts the lol in propranolol.
We'll probably cut that bit.
Done right!
Oh, he's here.
So my mum died today.
I guess this is what she would have wanted, me to die with her.
Live together, die together, eh?
Oh, wow, great. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Wow, okay. Ooh, a proper bill.
Let's meet and talk. Might have a few pointers how to take this show to the next level.
That would be great, yeah.
Ladies then.
Yeah, later's, cowboy.
He made 20 quid, bro. Come on. Don't be jelly.
In the show,
Now that he's making the big bucks.
giving me advice on bits that weren't working,
20 bucks a day, eh? Ugh.
and the show's just flourished.
Whoa. Wait, so... Oh, no. So what happened? Why do I need to think ahead?
Darren was like no one I'd ever met before. A self-prescribed,
Buddhist, polyamorous pansexual with a taste for the finer things of life. It's hard to yell for help when you're chained to a radiator with a ball gag in your mouth.
and as we sat in that prime
True.
bar and
Not that I have experience. 2 lines. Both for you or one for him?
We need to get you writing scripts in.
I'm ready for anything, yeah.
Oh, lovely. So he got him to do the drugs first, eh? Because he did them last time when he was trying to do the show. Take the edge off. Or maybe get the edge.
but all good things come to an end.
Hey, if you think that's bad, I was so drunk I ended up putting the hairnet on my penis.
I went back to London early and I didn't hear from him for the rest of the festival, but it felt strange. I questioned whether it was some crazy dream.
Wait, but if people are coming, why would they let it go? Like, if it's still making you money, do you know what I mean?
Despite meeting Keeley, going back to a life of learning seemed like a misstep. Mimicking animals and basically doing anything
The hell?
in act felt like those impossible feelings in my stomach. I missed Darian.
Oh,
I missed the confidence he gave me. The feeling of relevancy,
Ooh.
of hope.
the messages. Darian.
Yes, mate. 1,000 yeses.
Johnny, what are you playing at? What are you doing there?
2 seconds, okay? Wait 2 seconds. It's about this guy called Nigel, a high-flying lawyer who decides at the age of 50 to try his hand at professional wrestling.
Who watches wrestling anymore is above the age of 6.
I still do. Occasionally.
Well, so he has this choice to make. Live his life as a lawyer or Hangman Harry.
Needs more work.
You haven't read it?
Well, I'll read it when you sell it to me.
Another room and try
Do you want to get high?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, seems like he just wanted someone to hang out with, whereas the other guy actually wanted to work.
You can invite anyone you want to your house for dinner, but you can only pick 5.
Well, sounds horrible. My home's a sacred space. Takes someone very special to be allowed in.
Oh, come on, that's a cop-out answer. Who would they be?
You're in.
They'd be leaders, gurus, spiritually awake.
What is he?
6 of you at one party. Jesus, I couldn't imagine how many drugs there'd be.
Hold on, what's going on?
Do you want to get really high? Really high.
You really, or just saying it because of him?
Like, what did they all do to get where they are today?
Listen to me.
First time I came up was like nothing I'd ever experienced. Started to believe it, smell it, taste, and grasp them as they untied.
Darian seems fine, like not. Maybe he's used to it.
You don't mind, do you?
And throw up or something? Oh, lovely. Oh, nice. Oh, no. Oh.
Will almond milk do? There you go. That's all we've had.
I'm really sorry about that.
You're sorry?
We'll go slow next time.
Next.
I would love to pretend that's as far as it went.
Yeah, that's incredible. Oh, you want me to? Yeah. No, sure. Yeah, I'll come. I thought I'd blown it, you know.
What?
There.
More than vomit for me to be put off of your talents.
Talents. What kind of talents are we talking about here, eh?
I went from a guy who'd smoked a bit of weed to week-long benders high on crack
Wow.
and heroin.
What? Every single...
I would often wait to find him lying next to me, his hands and mouth in various places as he searched around my body. Then I would stumble to the bathroom and find his putrid spit congealed around my genital area, making me do overnight rewrites on a come-down for no money.
You do everything for him for free.
I don't have time for this conversation.
Darian presented me with acid.
I'll take half of one. You take 1.5. I'll act as your guide so you feel safe.
Half, and then he takes 1.5? That's more than twice as much as you.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
I can't see. All I can see is white. I can't see. I can't see.
My subconscious that I'd been repressing this entire time had reared its head to shine the most obvious light on a up situation.
Whoa. Oh no. More drugs, eh?
No, try to keep it in. Swallow.
Wow. Oh, Donnie. Oh, Donnie.
Come here.
I would love to say I left. I stormed out and never went back, but I stayed for days afterwards. In fact, come Monday, I got an eye infection and lay on his floor as he bathed it in salt water. On Tuesday, I fed his cat while he took phone calls. On Wednesday, I finally went home.
Oh, he needed that a proper warm hug.
Did he ever believe in me, or was this whole thing some pre-planned manipulation?
Manipulation. He didn't read the thing you gave him. He didn't pay you. He didn't do...
To ruin my life?
Look, do you want to watch something instead? I'm not feeling it.
No, shut up.
It's probably reminding him of that.
Happening today.
Didn't happen yesterday either.
Yeah, well, maybe I just need to take a break from it all then, okay?
I want a break from sex or from me. Okay.
Of course, it affected him in so many different ways. His relationships with, well, obviously, his girlfriend, but pretty much everyone else.
Or whether they always existed deep down. Like, did it all happen because I was giving off some vibe I wasn't aware of?
Blaming yourself.
Seeing the rape and the doubts and the confusion. Like my eyes were these windows onto them. I orgasmed quickly, in such a way that there was no denying my desires were shifting.
Wow.
Every day the laptop called me to it. I felt confused. I felt I would put myself in these up situations where I would almost risk being raped again in this attempt to understand the first time. Then I might at least shed this idea, like who cares if it happened before? It's happened a ton of times now, so what does it matter? It mattered. It mattered because this is what he wanted. This is what he saw in me all along. Then a feeling so bitter I could almost catch it in my throat. That he'd been vindicated somehow.
Astaghfirullah.
Dates and relationships by the dozen, all of which started off in the gutter of what happened. I wasn't interested in love for it anymore. I just wanted these people to provide fucking answers.
I'm just gonna nip to the bathroom, all right? A lot of people, they've gone back to shoot.
Until I met.
Harry.
I mean, she was everything I wanted, everything I needed. Smart, funny, confident, strong. But with every handhold or lingering stare came a crushing sense of anger and shame. That I was falling in love with her. That I couldn't hide in anonymity anymore. That I might not feel this way if he hadn't done what he did.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So when it came to the point of going to the police, I just couldn't stand the irony of reporting her, but not him. There was always a sense that she was ill, whereas he was a pernicious, manipulative groomer. To admit to her was to admit to him. But when the policeman asked,
Why'd it take you so long to report it?
That's why.
I don't know.
Go home, look through her emails, and when you find something of significance, come back. Unless we see some proper evidence, there's nothing we can do.
What about the physical assault? He didn't mention that. Okay, they shared this. Okay, I f***ing hate Netflix. Like, I can't go back to it now. How do we scroll back? It's just asking me to watch the next episode. Like, I'll watch it. Just share the website that I would like to leave on here. Okay, there it is. If you or someone you know has experienced sexual violence, please visit www.wannatalkaboutit.com to find more information and crisis resources. Please do. Please do it. Oh my goodness. Wow, this episode was brutal. That warning at the beginning was definitely warranted. Please go to that website or any other help that might be available in your local region. Wow, where do I start? We'll do it. How? So when Martha made those assumptions about him, you could see that there was something that she was hitting on, and we now know what that was. These insecurities and feelings that he has that are not the way a normal person would be come from something deeply rooted into his memory from that experience that he had with Darian. Every time he gets intimate with someone, even with his own girlfriend, he remembered him and those events, and it stopped him from being intimate with her. And obviously, that affected their relationship. Now, I have no doubt, honestly, that if you actually share what you went through with your girlfriend or spouse or, whatever, that they would understand. If they truly love you, they would understand. But I also think it is important to share that information. You cannot, I think it's a bit too much to ask of them to just be understanding without knowing what there is to understand, And of course, sharing that information, like we've talked about previously, makes you really vulnerable, and you're already vulnerable, and it's very scary. So it's just a disaster. And it affects you in so many ways, as we saw it affected his work, his relationships, his wants and needs, even, his sexual desires changed. Did so many drugs and so many things, and all for success. People in powerful positions using their position of power, or abusing rather. We've heard a couple of names in the news. I actually learned about another one recently. I was watching The Boys show and they mentioned Bill Cosby. And someone explained to me what happened with him. And this actually, well, I don't know about, I haven't looked into any of the others, but this one, Bill Cosby was the only one. And I didn't look into it either. It was a comment that explained it. So I know a little bit about it, basically, is what I'm saying. This looks very similar to how the Bill Cosby one went. And it's that comment that he made, which is just amazing, is that reporting Martha was reporting him. And if you're going to report Martha and not him, like, so you're okay, not okay, but you're willing to take that abuse, that harassment, that assault, as long as it gets you somewhere. Now, of course, that's not okay, but of course, it's also not okay for the person who is in power to do this, to ask of you to do these things, even though you have said explicitly that this is not right, this is bad, this is not a good situation, stop. No. And they continue because they know they can, and they know they can get away with it. Now, if he's done it with him, how many others has he done it with? The entertainment industry, how many people are there who are struggling, who are trying to just make it and will do anything to make it? Just like he said, anything you ask, if there's anything. In that one scene, he says, if there's anything. And then that scene when he comes back from it all and gives a hug to his girlfriend, I'm like, oh, how much he needed that. Because even in that moment when he went through that whole deal, when the dude knocks on his door and offers him the blanket and a hug, he takes it because he's so vulnerable and so hurt in that moment that he needs support. But not from his abuser, but from someone pure and someone who actually loves him, like Healy did. So one event, I suppose in his case, it wasn't one event. It was several times because he kept going back and he stayed there a few days as well afterwards. Why did he stay? Is it as simple as he just wanted his approval, that success so much that he made himself go through that? Or is it something deeper? I think it's something deeper. It has to be something more. I think he felt ashamed. I think he felt that he was to be blamed. I'm not sure. If you look at the whole ordeal, this whole situation, it all happened by chance. It didn't happen because something that was about him, like he said something that I am doing, or just the vibe that I'm giving off. No, it's not that. It's just happened to be you. It could have been anyone, right? That card that someone left. Then he goes to that club, then he starts talking to the people, then he starts talking about that show, that guy's there, he starts talking to that guy. Could have been anyone. It's nothing about him or me or you. It's just the other person. They were there. They had this planned out. This wasn't the first time. The way this was done was so strategic. Like each day, it got more and more intense. And he even admitted it. We'll take it slowly next time. So there was no show. There was no gig. There was no writing. None of that. This was all a plan, giving him that little bit of success and then disappearing, seeing how desperate he really is. And then when he saw all these messages with no reply, and he kept sending messages, and then when he saw that he would take all these drugs that he knows is bad for him, but he's going to do it simply for him, again showing desperation. These are all calculated moves taken by the other person. And like I said, it's not Donnie. It's not anything wrong with him. Could have been anyone. It just so happens that he was there. And actually, now that I think about it, the same exact thing can be said about Martha. It just so happened that Donnie was there. He saw someone that was going through something. And of course, he has empathy. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. I mentioned that at the start as well, that I think the biggest reason, that he might be falling into these traps is that he is too nice. He's not assertive enough. And he did an act of kindness for someone who clearly looked like was going through a lot, and he gave her attention, and it just happened to be him. It could have been anyone. It could have been the other guy, the guys making fun of him at the bar, the boys. It could have been one of them just doing an act of kindness. She could have been stuck onto them, right? And she had done this before with other people as well. So it's not Donnie doing anything wrong. Donnie didn't do anything wrong. Donnie did the right thing by giving her a free drink because it looked like she needed a free drink, and she said she can't afford it. But that person took advantage. Again, it's the other person. They're taking advantage of Donnie's kindness. And then in the case of Darian, he's taking advantage of then Donnie being vulnerable and desperate, most importantly. But of course, we do blame ourselves in these situations. That's something that I have done many times as well. And I'm sure you have as well. So that's something that you can understand, is that even though it's so easy to see from an outsider's perspective that it's clearly not Donnie's fault, but to Donnie, it is his fault, and he does blame himself, and he goes in sort of this bubble and sort of closes himself off from the people that he should be sharing this stuff with and getting help, but instead he chooses to close himself off. Again, like, it affects people so much. Like, these are things that are so simple. Like, you'd be like, just do this, just do that. But they're not thinking that way. They're not like us. I'm not feeling any trauma right now. I'm not under any duress. I didn't get abused. It's easy to say that when you're not going through that, but it's very difficult to think that way when you have, and especially when you're so fresh off of it. Like, it just happened. And then when things didn't go too well with Keely, I doubt that would have helped either, because that was the one person in his life that actually liked him and that actually cared about him, and things were actually nice, and that got broken as well. And it was because of this as well. So again, you go back to blaming yourself because you're like, well, I'm the one who was in the wrong. I broke it off. It happened because of me, because she was fine, Again, oh man, it makes me so angry, man. It's like he said, I want to murder these people. Like, oh, man. Yeah. This was an emotional and a very enraging episode. Enraging at the other people, not Donnie. But yeah. It's weird, and it's very interesting, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode, and why did he stay? Why do you think he stayed? I'd like to understand. I'd like to talk about this if you're comfortable enough to talk about this. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Once again, check out that website that they put up if you might or someone who might be struggling with something or have experienced something in the past, or if there's something else in your local area. I know there are like helplines and stuff as well. Please seek help, get professional help, people that can actually help. And once again, I know it's scary, and I know you feel vulnerable, but you've got to move on from this, and you have to start living your life, so take the right steps, talk to the right people, and I wish you all the best. I hope you're doing great at the moment, and if you're not, I hope very soon you start doing better. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Until then, have a nice